joined by my dog, Olive. She's going to sit with me, as is typical when you do yoga at home. You get to have pets oftentimes with you, which is totally fine. So just sit in a comfortable seated position. Your legs can be crossed. Just place your hands on your knees. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. If it's not comfortable to close your eyes, just gaze gently down at the ground. And take a big inhale as you roll your shoulders forward, up to your ears, and then exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Again, inhale, roll those shoulders forward, up to your ears, and then exhale, shoulders back and down. And let's sit up nice and tall here. So really push those shoulders down. Set yourself up as tall as you can. And then I'm going to have you release any tension that you're holding in your face. We oftentimes hold tension by furrowing our brow or pushing our tongue against the roof of our mouth. So what I want you to do, again, close your eyes if it's comfortable. I want you to first just release any furrowing in your brow. And then release any squinting in your eyes and let your eyes be very heavy in the sockets. Let your cheeks be soft. Let your jaw be slack. Unclench your teeth. If that means that your lips part, that's perfectly fine. And then take your tongue and settle it down into the palate. And then I want you to focus on your breathing. So listen to the sound of your breath as it comes in and goes out. Notice on that inhale how your chest is lifting, your rib cage is expanding, and on the exhale how everything collapses down and your diaphragm pulls in. Take a couple more nice deep breaths like this. Try to keep all of your attention on the sound and the feeling of your breath. Nice. Go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to come over onto our hands and knees and do some cat-cow. So just come on over to your hands and knees. Place your hands right underneath your shoulders, knees are right underneath of your hips. And on the inhale, drop your belly down, lift your tailbone up, look up to the ceiling, big inhale. And on the exhale, round your back, chin to chest, tuck your tailbone under, pull your belly button in nice and tight. And just work with your own breath, nice and smooth. Inhale on the arch. Exhale on the round. And as you're doing this, just working with your own breath, if you want to improvise, you can do that. You do a little waggle here when you're in the arch. When you're in your exhale, maybe you want to stretch back a little bit. Whatever feels good, we're loosening up the back here. One more round. Then we're going to go into a child's pose. Bring your toes together in the back and move your knees out a little bit wider, maybe as wide as your mat, and then set your hips back down on your feet. Reach those hands way forward. Here comes my dog to help. And then drop your head down to the ground. Big child's pose. And then slowly bring yourself back up. And we're going to come all the way to standing. So come all the way up, come up to the front of the mat, and we're going to stand in Tadasana or mountain pose. So make sure that your feet, we're going to stack everything. Make sure your feet are right underneath of your hips. So your ankles and your knees and your hips all line up. And take a look at your feet. Make sure the outside edges of your feet are parallel to each other. Okay? From here, I want you to squeeze your legs without locking your kneecaps back. So knees should be soft, but squeeze your thighs in nice and tight. And then pull your lower abdominals, your belly in a little bit here. Inhale as you roll those shoulders forward, up to your ears, and then exhale, shoulders back and down, lifting up through the heart. Big deep breaths here. And we're going to do some sun salutations. On the inhale, reach those hands up to the ceiling, look up, big inhale, and on the exhale, bend your knees and fold forward, dive down into a forward fold. Big inhale up, and exhale forward. Your knees can be as bent or as straight as you want as you do this. Just keep going with your breath. One more time, and then on the exhale, just dangle and forward bend. So just dangle here. Arms are soft, head is loose. And then we're going to come up to flat back. So take your hands and place them anywhere they land on your legs. Doesn't matter if they're here, here, here. Just place them on your legs and then flatten your back out as much as you can. Make your back nice and flat. Look down at the ground. Extend out through the top of your head. Nice flat back. If you want to increase this, take your hands and push them back, palms facing in. Big flat back stretch. And then exhale back down to forward fold. Big inhale up, bend those knees. Exhale forward. Inhale, come up to flat back. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale to flat back. Exhale forward. Now stay here. Bend your knees so that you can put your hands down on the ground and step one foot back and then the other so you're in a plank pose. Now in plank pose, you want to make sure that you're not with your tush way up in the sky. It's down and it's a nice flat line from your heels to your head. Okay? Excellent. Hold this. Nice, strong plank pose. Pull your belly button in, nice and tight, strong belly. Set your knees down if you want to. Make sure those elbow pits are forward, and we're going to lower ourselves down to the ground, keeping those elbows in nice and tight, all the way down to the ground, and then come down flat. Lay your feet flat on the ground. Elbows are in. Inhale those shoulders up to your ears. Press your shoulder blades together. Push them down your back, and use your back to come up to a cobra pose. We're using our back here, so hands are not engaged. Big, deep belly breaths. And come on down. Curl your toes under. Keep your knees down. This is the hard one. Use your hands and push up to modified plank. And then set your hips back into a child's pose. Reach those hands out in front. Drop your head down. And then come on up nice and slow. And let's come back up to standing. We're going to do some warrior poses. So step forward on your mat. We're going to keep our right foot forward. Step that left foot back. And make sure that your left foot is at a 45-degree angle. So it's not 90 degrees, it's at about a 45. And that lets you pull this hip around a little bit to the front. And then square your shoulders off to the front of your mat. Place your hands on your hips. Bend your front knee to come into a warrior. Pull this belly button in really tight. Press the shoulders down. And then bring the hands up to a warrior one. Hands are facing, palms are facing each other. Press your shoulders down. Big deep breaths. Make sure that you are pushing through the outside edge of that back foot. Don't collapse down in. Press through that outside edge. Face is soft. Take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. Great. We're going to open up to a warrior two. So leave your feet and knee just where it is and open up your hands so that your right hand is forward, left hand is back. Make sure you didn't just reach forward like this. You want to still be stacked up nice and tall. Press those shoulders down. Gaze is out over the front hands. Pull your belly in. We're going to go to an exalted warrior. Turn your front palm up. Reach it up to the ceiling. Gently set back hand on back leg. Look up at the ceiling. Big stretch through that front rib cage. Back to warrior two. And bring both hands down to the ground. Take your right foot, send it back to the left, so we're back in plank pose. Nice strong plank. Keep those hips aligned, pull your belly in. You don't have to, but if you want to, set your knees down, turn those elbow pits forward, and lower yourself with control all the way down to the ground. Lay the feet flat. Roll the shoulders up to your ears, shoulder blades together, press them down your back. Use your back to come up to a cobra. Again, we're working on back strengthening. We're not engaging the hands. You're using your back. Big, deep belly breaths. Come on down. Curl your toes under. Leave your knees down. Big press up to modified plank. And this time we're going to lift our hips and send them back into down dog. Drop your head down. Make sure your head is nice and soft. Look forward and walk or hop your feet up to the front of the mat. So you're dangling in forward bend. Big inhale up. Exhale, hands down to your side. We're going to repeat that with the left foot forward. So left foot is forward, right foot steps back. Make sure the right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Pull the hips around and then square the shoulders to the front of the mat. Hands on hips. Bend the front knee. Keep pressing through the outside edge of that back foot. Pull your belly in. And bring the hands up to warrior one. Palms facing each other. Nice big deep breaths. Make sure your face is soft. And we'll open it up into warrior two. So leave your legs just where they are. Open your arms up so left hand is forward. Right hand is back. Gaze is out over that left hand. Make sure you didn't reach forward. Keep yourself nice and aligned. Press the shoulders down. Turn that front palm up. Lift it up to the ceiling. Gently resting back hand on back leg. Lift up through that front rib cage, gazes to the ceiling, exalted warrior. Back to warrior two. Nice strong warrior two pose. And bring both hands down to the ground. Make sure your hands are down. Send that front foot back to the back one. Back down to plank pose. Nice strong plank. Turn those elbow pits forward. You can drop your knees if you want to. Slowly all the way down to the ground. Elbows are in. Roll those shoulders up to your ears. Press your shoulder blades together, down your back. Engage and lift. This time, once you've gone as high as you can with your back, if you want to, you can press with your hands and get a little bit more bend, but make sure those elbows are in tight. Your back is working. And come on down. Curl your toes under, knees stay down. Press up to modified plank and set your hips back into a child's pose. Head goes down. Big, deep breaths. Settle yourself down into a child's pose. And bring yourself up nice and slow. And we're going to come over onto our back to do a little bit of stretching on our back and then resting. So come on down, all the way down onto your back. Lay your legs out flat. Arms are down at your side. I want you to take your right foot and press through the right heel, toes are up. Take your left foot, bend your knee, put your foot down on the ground. Use that left foot to lift up a little bit onto your right hip and then drop your knee across your body. Take your left hand, extend it out to the left side. Take your right hand, place it on your left knee. And then if you want to, you can stretch a little bit deeper. Make sure that left shoulder blade stays down. Nice big twist. And then release. Straighten yourself back out. Both legs straight, readjust. This time, press through the heel of your left foot. Left toes are up. Take your right foot, place it down, right knee is bent. Use your right foot to lift up a little bit onto your left hip, then drop that knee across your body. Take your right hand, reach it out to the side. Take your left hand, place it on your right knee. Then you can pull gently to increase the stretch. Make sure that right shoulder blade is staying on the ground. And come on back out. Get yourself readjusted. Bend both knees, feet are on the ground, and then lift up one knee and the other and hug your knees into your chest. Just a nice big hug. If you want to lift your head up to your knees, you can, and keep it down. If you want to rock a little side to side, whatever feels good here, a nice big stretch. And then extend your feet up to the ceiling, legs are straight, hands go down by your side, and lower those feet down to the ground with control. Nice and slow, all the way down. When you get down to the ground, we're going to come into Shavasana, corpse pose. Make some space between your legs, just let your feet flop to the outside. You can either take your hands and place them on your belly, or you can turn your palms up, make some space between your arms and your body. Check back in with your face again. Remove any furrowing in your brow. Remove any squinting in your eyes and let your eyes be heavy in the sockets. Let your cheeks be soft. Let your jaw be slack. It's okay if your lips part. And take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. Let it settle down into the palate. And then bring your awareness back to your breathing. Listen to the sound of your breath as it comes in and goes out. Notice on the inhale how your chest lifts, your rib cage expands, your tummy lifts, and on the exhale how everything collapses down and your diaphragm pulls in. And for the next few seconds, we're going to try to keep all of our mind's awareness on our breathing. This is difficult sometimes when there's a lot going on. So anytime your mind wanders, acknowledge that it's wandered off to a different thought, and then return your mind's awareness back to the sound of your breath and the feel of that nice deep inhale and nice slow exhale. Let's take a few seconds to just breathe. Coming back into yourself now. Begin by wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Really big deep breaths. Maybe squish your face up a little bit, just bringing yourself back into your body. And when you're ready, bend your knees, roll over onto your side, take your time, and then bring yourself back up into a seated position. Back to where we started class, nice cross-legged position. My puppies come back to visit for this. Eyes can be closed, or if it's not comfortable to have eyes closed, just gaze down towards the ground, nice gentle gaze. Sitting up nice and tall, face is soft. And bring your hands into prayer pose at your heart center. Just take a moment for yourself here to thank yourself for taking the time to take care of your body and your mind and your dog. Nice deep breaths here. And bow your head forward. Namaste.